I've heard rumors that the Ripple case will be settled December 15th, and we'll just see. And that could have catastrophic implications for the industry, one way or the other. But, you just keep moving forward.
Hey, everybody. It's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And, I got to thinking, the markets expect the U.S. Federal Reserve to raise rates by about 0.5 percentage point in the next meeting, which will be on Wednesday, December 14th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. If the rates are raised lower than that 0.5 percentage point, we're going to see some interesting market action, both in the traditional market and the crypto market. And if Charles Hoskinson is correct about this rumor and the judgment goes in a favorable way for the XRP holders, well, I would say buckle up.
I went to see Sam on November the 8th. I met with Sam, I met with his team, I was in the Bahamas, I met with his dad, and I knew there was a very, very serious problem, more serious than what was appearing to the outside world.
And so I saw your CNBC interview where you said a similar thing. What was it that you saw that made you think this?
No, it was just very obvious that they had moved money from FTX to Alameda. Remember, this was very, very fresh at the time. It was before people could do any type of track covering. The compliance people told me what happened. They were very open with me. They were actually seeking my advice. And so they moved the money. Okay, now that was a direct violation of the terms of service. Okay, I said on CNBC, I'll say today, I'll say publicly, I did go to law school. There's a definition for the word fraud. So if you say, is it fraud? The common person could call it fraud, but the legal definition of fraud is very specific. And I'm a big believer in our legal system, and everybody's presumed innocent until proven guilty. So we're going to leave that up to those people to decide. But if you're asking me, based on my firsthand knowledge of talking to people inside of FTX, did they move assets? Kevin doesn't know where his assets are. Were they swept into Alameda? Compliance people at FTX told me that was the case. That was a direct violation of their terms of service.
Anything that went out of FTX is on the chain. So if there was a digital asset that left there or came in, that's on the chain. It may take 3, 4, 5, 6 years, but by the time this is over, you will know exactly what happened. It won't be alleged anymore. Now, do the people inside FTX face the law? Yeah, if they broke it, they will. And that'll come after you have the real facts. But I am just one shareholder, and I'm one pissed off cowboy, and I got a lot of lawyers, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this, at least for me.
Now, I know those two guys are probably not on the top of the list for everyone to listen to. I mean, I get a lot of pushback when I play anything with Jay Clayton, Gary Gensler, or who else gets a bad reaction. Well, there's many out there. But I thought what they said was worth a share. And just for the record, if you know, Scaramucci runs SALT, and those conferences, they actually banned anybody from Ripple to talk. So he's not on my fan list. So I'm not showing that because I am a Scaramucci fan. I just think that what they had to say was valuable. And now when we talk about entities that don't give fair coverage of this space, this also was just despicable. Oh, this is the Block CEO who was loaned $43 million from Sam Bankman-Fried. And, the stories that the Block was covering often casted shadow on many crypto projects, including Binance. So this space has just such an unjust, unfair, propaganda-filled narrative. That part just drives me crazy. And this is one more example. I don't know if you caught this, but CoinDesk released their list encompassing themes, stories, and people that made an impact on crypto, blockchain, and Web3. And as Santiago Velez says, it's amazing the oversight of Stuart Alderati and John Deaton in fighting what could be the most consequential legal battle in the crypto space. But I guess we'll leave that recognition for number one in 2023. I said that painfully, yeah, it's true today. However, I think history is going to be much kinder to those two. Here's an interesting clip for about 2 minutes that is of Boris Allergant. He is the head of DeFi markets at Ripple, and he's talking about adoption. And I agree with his Web 2.0 to Web 3.0 comment. Yeah, we're not going to just flip a switch. It's going to take a lot of steps, a lot of versions to get there. I think for us to really get to a fully decentralized Web 3.0 is going to take years.
My name is Boris Allergan. I'm the head of DeFi markets at Ripple. Ripple is a software company that builds on top of the XRP ledger, which is a permissionless decentralized blockchain. Been around for almost 10 years. Our flagship product is RippleNet, processes about $15 billion a year of payment flows on behalf of institutions. We're really trying to remove the frictions associated with cross-border payments. I do a lot of research and I look at it. What is it going to take for an institution to start using DeFi? Well, one, I think there's got to be regulation around it, right? They have to be comfortable from a regulatory perspective. Uniswap might be the most liquid venue right now, but institutions, traditional finance, highly regulated institutions have trouble getting comfortable trading on a Uniswap. Why? Well, AML KYC concerns, right? That's a real problem in the space. Two, I think also the UX, right, isn't the friendliest. So institutional adoption is really important to bringing DeFi to the masses. And I think we need to start looking at decentralized finance as a technology, right? As a technology that creates efficiencies that will lower costs. A lot of the rise of DeFi in 2021, right, in DeFi summer was really led by speculation. We had record level zero interest rates, right? And people were just chasing yield. And that had led to a lot of activity and growth in DeFi. With this bear market, people are going to be focused on building and looking at DeFi as a technological stack that will increase efficiencies. In the end, right, as a user, you don't really care if your trade goes through a DEX or a centralized exchange. All you care is that it's fast, cheap, and it's safe. And so, we're all talking about Web 3 and how we're going to move to Web 3 and the shift from Web 2 to Web 3 is just flicking a switch. It's really not like that. It's going to be more gradual. We need to get to Web 2.1, Web 2.2, Web 2.5 before we can even get to Web 3.
Okay, moving right along. I found something kind of interesting. You're going to have to look into it a little bit more, but I happened to read that there was a company that uses smart contracts for digital asset inheritance. So this system received its CertiK audit, and that's a certification that audits the errors or risk in the code and also reports vulnerabilities, and it verifies the code used for the smart contracts. Now, they claim to be a non-custodial digital asset management that will securely transfer all your digital assets to preserve your crypto portfolio. And it's not only just crypto, it could be your passwords, your documentation on how to get into exchanges, it can be your NFTs. So it ensures that your digital assets and memories are protected. And they have plans that start at $129 a year. Now, again, I just came across this, and I know that there's many of us who would love to have a really good, dependable solution. So I just thought I would share this legacy suite. All right, everybody, we're jumping to the fluff. Did you know that the dating app Tinder had some former employees, led by the CTO, the Chief Technical Officer, Ryan Ogla, launch a spin-off called Ripple? They aimed at being the first mobile alternative to LinkedIn, and it was used to network and job hunt. Well, it didn't really get off the ground in 2018, and now I notice that they are still keeping their versions updated, but they've moved over to try to connecting students on university campuses. I want to show you something in Japan that was launched a couple of years ago, but is now one of the most popular apps for networking. It's called Yenta, and they have had over 50,000 downloads and 5 million successful matchups. And on the 8th of December, Yenta released a new business version of their matchmaking app functionality called RM, short for Relationship Management, where you can visualize your connections and create reunions with the use of AI that matches up groups this time. So 12 o'clock every day, you receive 10 new profiles. I'm telling you, so many people I know are using this. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.